Deep Canyon, right at the mouth of Deep Canyon, or at least the mouth before you go into the higher mountains back here. And I'm looking at an outcrop on sort of the northeast side of the canyon, and it's got a pack that I left there at the bottom of the outcrop for scale. But you can see there's there's a fold. These are metamorphic rocks, and they're layered, and you can make out a fold in between the kind of gray and white colored layers that is lifting up and forming this upward fold that must be, maybe 8 or 10 feet across. And then at the very base, you can't see it very well, the layers are not folded, they're flat again. So this is an attachment fold. The fold is lifting up off the more horizontal layers below. And this is a type of fold you see in, unmetamorphosed sedimentary rocks, layered sedimentary rocks, quite common. So again, we're getting kind of a mixture of brittle behavior and plastic behavior going on in these rocks. Off to the left here, you can see a little ramp fold let me get it right in the center. You can see there's this light colored block that is kind of in the upper part of the image, and it's curved on top of the block, and then there's a crack in the rock, which is a little fault that dips off to the left at about 20 degrees. And then you can see the layers below that crack are at least right near the outcrop are more horizontal. And this is a little ramp fold. So what's happened is the upper block, that light colored stuff on top that's got a fold in it, it's moved up that ramp, and in doing so it's created a little what we call a hanging wall anticline. And so that's really a feature you see associated with brittle behavior. But there's a lot of stuff in here when you look close in at the rocks that indicate there's also some plastic deformation going on here. So I think what's happened here is we're looking at the very end of the metamorphic sort of conditions, the plastic metamorphic conditions. We're in the brittle-ductile zone, and this thing was either cooling off or being uplifted, or probably both. And as it was uplifted, it was cooling off, and it's sort of, some of the material here is still like the lighter colored stuff, the quartz and feldspar, is behaving in a plastic sort of deformation mechanism, and then the darker layers are behaving more in a brittle nature. So the example of the brittle stuff would be small faults, and let's see if I'm going to focus in here. There's some little small faults that are in that detachment fold. I don't know if you can make them out in this image, not, but they're cutting across the layers, and that would be a type of brittle behavior. And of course, if there's any kind of bedding plane flip, which there would almost have to be to form the liftoff fold, or this fault bin fold I mentioned, over to the left here, those are really brittle things, brittle behavior type features.